Good evening, everyone. This is Mike from BSE 1A English, and for today's video, I'm going to share to you the features of Chinese English and also the materials of Yang and Dai entitled China English Its Distinct Feature. And also, I'm going to highlight the following information. First is the Chinese English as standard variety. Second is distinct features of China English in phonology, vocabulary or lexicon, sentence or syntax, text and score, and also my learnings while reading the book. And right now we will start the features of Chinese English. So, what are the features of Chinese English? So, actually there is a lot of features of Chinese English, but I'll going to give you some example of the features of Chinese English, and one of it is the lexical innovation. So, if we were going to say lexical innovation, it means that Chinese English often incorporates unique vocabulary items, idioms, and expressions that may not be commonly used in other English varieties. This can be influenced by Chinese language structures and cultural context. Second one is the Chinese syntax influence. So it means that the sentence structure of the word order in Chinese can sometimes influenced by the way English is used by Chinese speakers. So this may leads to variation in syntactic patterns. The third one is the code switching. So code switching is a Chinese English speakers may engage in code switching where they alternate between Chinese and English within the same conversation. This reflects the bilingual nature of many Chinese speakers and the fluidity between the two languages. The fourth one is the cultural nuances. So it means that Chinese English may include expression and references that are culturally specific to China, reflecting the cultural background of the speakers. The fifth one is the pragmatic differences. So pragmatic differences means that the use of politeness markers such speeches, speech acts, and communication styles in Chinese English can differ from other varieties of English, reflecting Chinese cultural norms and communication patterns. And also, there are also example like the phonology, how the Chinese use the vowels, how Chinese use the consonants, and how Chinese use prosody in different sentences in a daily basis. Chinese English a standard variety. So for me, English in China is primarily treated as a foreign language, and there isn't a widely recognized standard variety of Chinese English in the same way as American English or British English. However, linguistic features influenced by Chinese elements may be discussed in terms variation in English spoken in China. And for example of this, like what I said, Chinese English as standard variety refers to a form of English influenced by Chinese languages and culture. An example of this could be the use of terms like I go to shopping already instead of I have already gone shopping, reflecting the structure of Chinese sentence pattern. Okay, and let's proceed to the distinct features of China English in phonology, vocabulary or lexicon, sentence or syntax, text, and score. So let's go first to the phonology. So phonology or distinct feature of phonology is that the pronunciation in English or Chinese English may exhibit unique features influenced by the phonetic patterns of Chinese languages. This could include variation in vowels and consonant sounds, tone patterns, and intonation. And the perfect example for this is that um, in Chinese English, is the tendency to replace the R sound or with the I sound, I, leading to pronunciation like rice pronounced as lice or car as cow. This phenomenon is influenced by the absence of R sound in many Chinese languages. The second one is the distinct feature of vocabulary or lexicon. So it means or Chinese English may incorporate vocabulary items that are not commonly used in other varieties of English. This could include loan words from Chinese languages, new coinage, or specialized terms that reflects the linguistic and cultural context of China. And the third one is the distinct feature of syntax. So it means that the sentence structure and word order in Chinese English might show influences from Chinese languages structures. This could result in variation in syntactic patterns, such as the use of certain sentences construction or word placement. So the example of this is that Chinese English speakers might say, I yesterday go to store, instead of the typical English word order, yesterday I went to the store, reflecting the subject verb object structure commonly used in Chinese. So as you can see there is a big difference in Chinese English and the standard English that we are using right now. And the fourth one is that distinct feature of text and discourse. So it means that text and discourses in Chinese English may reflect in cultural nuances and communication styles specific to China. This could include politeness markers, speeches or acts and discourse markers that are characterized of Chinese communication norms. So the perfect example of this, like if you were going to observe in written and spoken communication by the Chinese English Chinese speakers, contributing to a different stylistic approach compared to standard English or discourse, we can actually notice or observe the way how they write, they communicate, and the way how they um, ho- the way how they speak. And lastly, these are the things that I learned while reading. So the first one is that the definition of China English. So I learned that the book likely provides a definition and explanation of what China English or Chinese English entails, including its linguistic characteristic, cultural influences, and usage of context. The second one is the distinctive features of China English or Chinese English. So the authors, which is Yang and Dai, may discuss the unique linguistic features of Chinese English, such as lexical innovation, syntactic patterns, phonological influences, and cultural nuances. The third one that I learned while reading is the comparison with other varieties of English. The book might explore how Chinese English differs from other varieties of English, such as American English, British English, or International English, highlighting its distinctiveness. And lastly, the language policy and education. They are how can I say this? There may be discussion on language policy and English languages education in China, examining how these factors shape the development and use of Chinese English. And overall, China Englishes its distinctive features likely provides a comprehensive exploration of the linguistic, cultural, and socio-political aspect of Chinese English, offering the valuable insights into the evolving variety of English spoken in China. And yeah, I think everything is all set. Thank you so much.